Appreciate you all for tuning back in again. Today's video is about the location of Eden. So to unpack these facts, we have to first understand that the story of Adam and Eve was a creation story, meaning it's a Jewish traditional mythology story that is not a historical event. Some of the incidents in the story allows you to see that the story cannot be taken as a literal event, such as God creating the sun and moon on the fourth day, when the rotation of the sun is how days are even calculated. But the place of Eden is based on a real geological location. For example, our metropolis is based on Ohio or Manhattan, and Wakanda is based on Ethiopia and the Congo regions of Africa. Now, this same thing was done with the region of Sumeria of what is called the Fertile Crescent. This region is a crescent-shaped area in the Middle East formed by the Tigris, Euphrates, and Mediterranean Sea. It gave rise to some of the first civilizations of the region where farming and agriculture first developed. This is why it's nicknamed the Cradle of Civilization. This same region is the core geographical location for most of the Old Testament. Texts indicate that the garden was attached to an area with 4 rivers: Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates. With just these 4 rivers, we know that Eden would be located in Sumeria. The confusion comes again when the pseudo-Afrocentrics wanted biblical inclusion and started trying to tie the Blue Nile and Abay River to the biblical Gihon River. And the reason this lie gained merit was due to the word Ethiopia being mistranslated for Cush in the Septuagint translations of the Hebrew text, when the earlier region of Cush in the Old Testament was describing an area in Sumer called Kish. And this is why, in the Table of Nations, when Ham begat Cush, all of his children built towns in the area of Babylon, because Ham has no correlation to Africa at all outside of the Egyptians and the Libyans. One of Adam's first sons is expelled from this garden and builds a city that was east of where they were, and the land is associated with Babylon based on the biblical context, and his land is called Nod. But what folks unawarely do is compact the information that they have about the evolution of the first upright humans living in Southeast Africa and attempt to tie it in with the Garden of Eden and Noah story to place them in Africa. But the Bible tells you where these events are. Noah's Ark came to rest on a mountain in Ararat in Turkey. Then his sons migrated to 3 different regions. Japhet is Europe and Asia Minor. Ham is Northeast Africa, Canaan, and parts of Babylon. And Shem took parts of East Africa and Arabia. The Bible has an out of Turkey migration, while science has an out of Africa migration. These events are not related, as one is a scientific anthropological study that shows the migration patterns of all humans, while the other is an oral tradition and fable about the origins of one group of people. Cello the Great.